We have all of our athletes lifting weights regardless of their sport, and we have them lifting year round. It's beyond the scope of why we do that on this video here, but when it comes to the exercise of a flat bench, I want to share a trick with you that we use that has increased the longevity of our athletes' shoulders. It's made them stronger, and like anything, right? The only thing that's going to slow you down as an athlete is if you get sick and or get injured. So why would you be getting injured on a bench press? Well, I don't mean to insult your intelligence, but when you lay on a flat bench, you give the shoulder, the glenoid humeral joint, you give that joint no place to rotate during the lift. If I can get you to visualize, close your eyes unless you're driving while listening to this video. I want you to imagine you're laying flat on a bench and you pick the bar up. Well, as soon as you pick that bar up, the weight's in your hands, it presses down on your arms, and the head of the humerus, which is in your shoulder joint, is literally being pinned to the bench itself. You lower the weight down. Unfortunately, the head of the humerus is now grinding on the backside of the shoulder joint. It's getting into the rear deltoid, and it's getting into a lot of the stabilizers muscles that make up all of the muscles of the shoulder. I'm not going to go in through all the anatomy. You'd fall asleep because it's pretty boring, especially if you don't like a lot of physiology and science terms. When you look at the illustration on the screen right here, think about all these muscles being pinched on the backside of the shoulder when you bring the weight down. You get the bar down to your chest, and now the greatest amount of movement is when you go from, the greatest amount of strength is generated from when you lower the weight down and then you redirect it from down to up. That's what we call the power curve. The greatest amount of work is being done during that power curve. Well, not only did you bring the weight down and you pinch the head of the humerus to the back of the shoulder, then when it comes to generating the greatest amount of power, you've put even more strain on the back of that glenoid humeral joint. So what's the trick to keeping you from grinding the humerus into the shoulder joint? Well, this is where the big bouncy Fitball comes in. Depending on your height, you're going to need to adjust the size of the ball. And the Fitball, it has a range based on your physical height, how many centimeters, what size ball you should be using. But now stop and think about the difference. Instead of using a straight bar on a bench where you're pinching the humerus into the back of the shoulder joint, now we use individual dumbbells. Now I know there's some of you out there that are stronger than the amount of weight that's available at the gym in the dumbbells. I totally understand that. But at what point is it worth grinding your shoulders down just to be able to move more weight? If you're a paid bodybuilder professional, I get it. It just comes with the job. I'm not a big fan of it, but I also understand why you're doing it. For the rest of us, now you're sitting, you've got your back flat on a Fitball, you get those individual dumbbells over you, you've got a multitude of benefits. Before we even get into the benefit associated with the shoulder, think about it. If your bum is up and you've got a nice flat core, you're engaging your glutes, your hamstrings, so you've got a nice flat plank, goes from your knees, goes across your belly button into your chest. Well, now you've got your abdominals engaged, you've got your hamstrings engaged, your glutes engaged. On top of that, now we're strengthening your chest. You have the dumbbells, you bring them down nice and slow. Well, as the weight comes down, in fact, even as you hold them up and initiate the descending of the weight, the head of the humerus could go into the ball itself, and you've alleviated the grinding sensation. When you get to the power curve and you're bringing it back up, you have no grinding going on the back of that shoulder. So it's a win-win, win-win-win, because you're engaging chest, triceps, anterior deltoid with the dumbbells. You're engaging your core because you're not falling over on the Fitball, and all the muscles from your belly button down are engaged, so you have that nice plank position. Move the weight nice and slow. You don't hurt your shoulders whatsoever, so you're getting stronger in a multifunctional plane. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I hope I've clarified why we don't have our athletes using a flat bench. I just don't want to see somebody grind their shoulders down. It can be avoidable and you can still get strong. And that's the reason why we wanted to put this together. If you're new to the channel, thank you so much. We hope that you'll like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications because we do put out a video every day answering your questions. So should you have one, please send it to me. Contact@coachrob.com. Again, thank you so much for watching today. I hope you'll enjoy these next two videos.